Every day, something dramatic happens in the Caribbean that affects our lives. We'll give you the details. We'll give you the facts on Caribbean Perspective with Eddie Frederick. Here's Eddie Frederick.
So glad you can join us. The Delta variant of the coronavirus, soon to be the dominant strain in the world. This story takes the lead in a 1137th edition of Caribbean Perspective for Monday, 21st June 2021. Details after this break.
Hubbard's big promotion is back. Live free for 1 year. Spend $50 or more in any Hubbard's department and receive a chance to win big prizes every month. Property or vehicle insurance for 1 year. Free internet, cable and data for 1 year. Free fuel for 1 year. Free cooking gas for 1 year. Free electricity for 1 year. Free drinks for 1 year. Extra cash account and the big free groceries for 1 year. Promotion runs from April 1st to September 30th, 2021. Live free for 1 year with Hubbard's in association with Solgas, Flow, Grenadian General Insurance, Carib Brewery, Coca-Cola, Grenada Bottling Company, Grenlec, Communal Cooperative Credit Union, Dutch Lady Milk, Promo, Danny and Supreme. Terms and conditions apply.
Welcome back. The World Health Organization, the WHO, says the Delta strain of the COVID-19 virus is well poised to becoming the dominant strain. Here is the story.
The Delta variant, originating first from India with the highest known transmissibility and invoking a more severe disease, has been confirmed in 80 territories thus far.
The Delta variant is well on its way to becoming the dominant variant globally because of its significantly increased transmissibility.
WHO Chief Scientist Dr. Soumya Swaminathan says more studies should be done by countries even as they roll out their vaccination programs to see which vaccines are more effective against each strain. But it should be accompanied by increased capacity to test for the prevalence of strains in those countries.
This also means that countries need to do sequencing. Side by side with documenting vaccine effectiveness, we need to expand sequencing.
While vaccination programs are underway to try to beat these further mutations, some 30 to 40 countries have had no choice but to suspend.
Many of them are at the very end of the supply that they have, and they still have not delivered second doses to their large populations for which they got first doses. So we're really facing a situation where they are in halting stage, where they just don't have more doses that are coming at this point to be able to do those second doses.
Dr. Maria Van Kerkhove says vaccines have simply not gone the right places at the right time to beat the ever-mutating virus. That's why she stresses the need for persons to continue to use societal measures proven to prevent infection.
I'm not talking about lockdown. I'm talking about the use of a mask. I'm talking about physical distancing. I'm talking about improving ventilation. I'm talking about avoiding crowded spaces, making our workplaces safer, knowing what our risk is every day and taking measures to lower that risk. That has to receive the same amount of attention right now as vaccines and vaccination. And I will sit up here and be a broken record and continue to do so because we have tools that save lives right now. And unfortunately, we don't yet have the vaccines in the right places to protect people's lives.
There have been over 187 million detected COVID cases and 3.84 million recorded deaths.
The Foreign and CARICOM Affairs Ministry in Trinidad and Tobago says that at no time Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley ever disparaged the vaccine program in Guyana, nor has he ever implied that the vaccines in use in Guyana are defective or unsafe. The ministry issued its statement in response to a claim made by an advisor to Guyana's health ministry regarding recent statements made by Dr. Rowley about Guyana's vaccination program. TV6's Jewel Brown has that story.
The Foreign and CARICOM Affairs Ministry said on Friday that it noted with concern what it called the recent misleading, disrespectful and potentially damaging comments in the Guyanese media ascribed to Dr. Leslie Ramsamy, advisor to Guyana's Ministry of Health, as well as what the ministry called a most reprehensible and slanderous statement ascribed to the Georgetown Chamber of Commerce and Industry, directed against Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley, who is also the chairman of CARICOM. In a statement issued on Friday, the Foreign Affairs Ministry said the comments and statement attempt to associate Prime Minister Rowley with views which he does not hold and which he never expressed. The issue stems around the comments made by Prime Minister Rowley on Saturday.
The vaccination program in Trinidad and Tobago is as good as and probably better than most, certainly in the CARICOM and worldwide.
The Prime Minister displayed a table to discuss the vaccination programs among the CARICOM member states.
Of the 14 CARICOM countries, the only country in CARICOM that has received into its borders more vaccines than Trinidad and Tobago is Guyana.
Dr. Rowley said the reason for that is something that he had spoken about previously.
The Guyana government took a decision that Trinidad and Tobago did not take, and that is, early in the proceedings, to use vaccines that were not approved by the World Health Organization. As a result of that, Guyana had a larger volume of vaccines available. We did not participate in that, and that explains it. So if one is looking at WHO-approved vaccines, it would be clear that Trinidad and Tobago got within its border more vaccines than any other CARICOM country.
Dr. Ramsamy responded to the statement made by Dr. Rowley during a telephone interview with Guyana's NGP-TV.
I will not speak anything of Trinidad's vaccination program. That's for their people. Their people are not happy, and Prime Minister Rowley is free to try to change the narrative in his country. But in choosing to change that narrative by disparaging Guyana's vaccination program, Prime Minister Rowley was being reckless.
Trinidad and Tobago's Foreign and CARICOM Affairs Ministry said at no point in time has Prime Minister Rowley ever disparaged the vaccine program in Guyana, nor has he ever implied that the vaccines in use in Guyana are defective or unsafe. The ministry also said it is extremely unfortunate that the advisor to the Ministry of Health of Guyana would use, according to the ministry, falsehood to publicly attack the Prime Minister of a friendly neighboring country. The Foreign and CARICOM Affairs Ministry said the statement of the Georgetown Chamber of Commerce and Industry, as published in the Guyanese media, also make references to Prime Minister Rowley that the ministry says are completely false. The ministry said the Chamber's statement also appears to simply repeat what the ministry calls the fake narrative of Dr. Ramsamy. Jewel Brown, TV6 News.
The hurricane season is now upon us, so we as Caribbean people need to remember to think safety and be prepared. Avoid venturing outside during a storm or hurricane, especially if there are strong winds. Rooftops and other debris are often blown about and can cause great damage.
You're listening to Caribbean Perspective with Eddie Frederick.
A total of 61,000 people in Guyana have been fully vaccinated with a Sputnik vaccine out of Russia, as was revealed by Senior Advisor to the Government on Health, Dr. Leslie Ramsamy, in spite of the concerns expressed by the country's opposition leader. Gordon Mosley of News Source Guyana reports.
That simply means that the total number of people receiving both doses stands at 61,000. But there has been no availability of Sputnik second dose vaccines for the past 3 weeks, which means there are now thousands of people awaiting their second dose, more than 100,000. While the Ministry of Health had initially indicated that it has purchased a total of 400,000 doses of the Sputnik vaccine and has so far received 305,000 doses, it appears as though more first doses might have been purchased than second doses, or more first doses were delivered than expected. For the Sputnik vaccine, the first dose is different from the second dose, which means the number of second doses must always match the number of first doses administered. The health minister on Thursday promised that he would have provided detailed information on the number of vaccines bought and used so far, but there has been no new information from his office today. The opposition APNU-AFC continues to call on the government to come clean on the vaccine purchases. The opposition leader has called for a suspension of the administration of the Sputnik vaccine until all of the information being sought is clarified. The opposition leader, Joe Harmon, made it clear that he is encouraging persons to get vaccinated, but he believes the other two vaccines, Sinopharm and AstraZeneca, should be used until the information is cleared up about a Sputnik and its purchase through a middleman.
Where is the information, Frank Anthony? Where is the information? Rather than calling us reckless and all of that, who is reckless now? It's over 24 hours has passed, and still you cannot provide this information. Rather than that, there's some innocuous publication signed by Marlon Cole calling it a public advisory about the way how vaccines are treated when they come to Guyana. That is not what we asked you about. That is not what we asked you about. So who is reckless? Who is reckless? Who is playing with the lives of the Guyanese people? Certainly I am not.
The government has defended its decision to pay almost double the price for the Sputnik vaccine through a Dubai sheikh. President Irfan Ali has said that there was not much of a choice since the government needed to get the vaccines.
Let me speak about the cost. I have said from day one, you know this. We have tried every single avenue to get the vaccine. Here is where the vaccine was available at the cost of at the cost. What are we supposed to do? Can we delay the interest of the health of the population? Can we delay the risk of losing more lives? No. In the government estimation, we cannot do this. That is why we went ahead with this investment. And from day one, we made it very clear. And this is not a transaction with an individual. This is a transaction with the private office of the Sheikh Maktoum.
This evening, the government is unclear as to when it will be able to get second doses of the Sputnik vaccine delivered, although those second doses have already been paid for.
The annual U.S. military training exercise Trade Winds got underway in Guyana on Friday. More in this Barbados Today news story.
The U.S. Southern Command-led training exercise aims to help regional forces improve their military and emergency response skills. More in this report from Newsroom Guyana.
There are 17 partner nations from the Caribbean, Europe, South, and North America. During a visit to some of the training sites on Friday, including Camp Stevenson at Timeri, East Bank Demerara, participating officers and trainers shared what the experience has been like thus far.
One of our primary missions here is to provide medical casualty evacuation in the event that whether a U.S. soldier or a host nation soldier or any of the coalition partners get injured, we have the ability to fly them in our helicopters very quickly to medical treatment so that further injury doesn't occur. In addition to that, we're here to provide training for the host nation and other nations in working with U.S. coalition forces. That way, if the need arises and that becomes a big issue, they already know how we operate, we know how they operate, and it works well as a partnership.
The more we share, the more we can learn. Talking with some of the U.S. forces out there, they're learning just as much from the Guyanese and the other partner nations here as much as we are doing with the training with them. So it's, even though we're providing training, they're actually learning from them as well.
Did you know that your friends and family can now shop at the Food Fair from anywhere in the world, and you can receive here in Grenada? The Food Fair and GrenadaMarket.com now make it possible through secure online shopping and personalized customer service. Simply send your loved ones a list of your preferred items or let them fill an online basket, and the items will be available for pickup or delivery. Visit GrenadaMarket.com or thefoodfair.gd today for more details. The new norm. Spread the news.
I am Eddie Frederick. This has been Caribbean Perspective, a whole new approach to highlighting developments in the Caribbean. In the meantime, please continue to log on to CaribbeanPerspective.com for more daily news and more.
Did you know that your friends and family can now shop at the food fair from anywhere in the world and you can receive here in Grenada? The Food Fair and GrenadaMarket.com now make it possible through secure online shopping and personalized customer service. Simply send your loved ones a list of your preferred items or let them fill an online basket and the items will be available for pickup or delivery. Visit GrenadaMarket.com or thefoodfair.gd today for more details. The new norm. Spread the news.
I am Eddie Frederick. This has been Caribbean Perspective, a whole new approach to highlighting developments in the Caribbean. In the meantime, please continue to log on to CaribbeanPerspective.com for more daily news and more.